Hey friends, welcome to my kitchen over here at Wild Hearts Homestead. Tomorrow is my birthday and so I want to make some pumpkin pies for my birthday. We're going to use pumpkins that we grew in our garden last year, eggs from our chicken, and milk from our sheep. Let's get started. We're going to be using this recipe for the crust from Elana's Pantry. And then for the pie, we're going to be using this recipe. And unfortunately, I didn't write down where I got this recipe from. So I'm not sure what the person that wrote this pumpkin pie recipe, but I'll try to find it for you, and if I can, I will link these down below for you. I'm gonna make 2 pies so that we all get to enjoy it for a couple of days before it is all gone. I have my glass Pyrex pie pans here, and we're gonna make our crust first. All right, we've got all our ingredients here. I am actually gonna start with the coconut oil, just because it's cooler and I need to have it melted, so I'm going to put that in my bowl first. And I like to make less dishes. You can use whatever oil of choice that you would prefer to use. Sometimes if I am making like a meat pie, I will use olive oil because I like that taste with a meat pie more than the coconut oil. But I don't like coconut oil flavor if I'm doing a sweet pie, like pumpkin. So we got 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil. And I'm just going to pop this in the microwave for a couple seconds to get it melty. About 10 seconds in the microwave. Now we're going to add in our almond flour and our salt and our egg. Two cups of almond flour, and the recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I like my crust to be a bit salty, so I'm going to double that and do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to stir the salt into the almond flour just a little bit before we put the egg in. Now we're going to take this and we're going to press it into our pie pan. My pie pans are a little bit smaller than a 9-inch pie pan. So I think the last time I made this, I did 2 crusts and then just did one batch of the pie filling itself, and that was enough because mine are a little bit smaller than normal. I just press this right into here, and it's like crumbly when it's in the bowl, but it forms a really nice crust, and it's really good. I'll use this when I make any kind of pie, even if it's like hamburger pie, I'll use this crust. And I actually really like that I don't have to roll it out like a flour crust. I might be able to get away with just making a half of another pie crust recipe to fill out this second pan. And you know it's cold out when your coconut oil is solid. I always get so excited in the spring when I see the coconut oil is starting to get liquidy in the cupboard, because I'm like, yes, that's how I know spring is here. Since we can't half an egg, I will just put the entire egg in there. Let me just pick a smaller one. It is a little bit wetter since I did a whole egg in there, but when it cooks, it'll be fine. The recipe is really just guidelines anyways, right? It's not a you must do it this exact way. If you do this for a meat pie, you can also add seasonings into your crust. It makes it so good, like garlic, basil. I don't want any of this delicious crust to go to waste, so I'm going to make sure it all fits in there. There we go. Now we're just going to set these aside while we make our pie filling. This is pumpkin puree from our garden from last year. It was processed and put in the freezer. And unfortunately, once it thaws out, it does not last very long. So some other ways you can use it is in your pancakes. If you put applesauce in your pancakes, you can use pumpkin puree as a substitute. We need 1.5 cups of pumpkin puree. Goodness gracious, child. He's very excited. He's up early this morning. Normally he sleeps in a little bit. Alright, we're just going to scrape the rest of this container in here. That's a perfect portion. Oops, splatter in it. I think we're just going to make one pie filling work. I don't think we're going to need two for sure. These pies are small. Try to get every last drop out that I can. Alright, now we're going to add our eggs from our chickens in here. This is getting down to the last bits of milk from our sheep. They are just about dried out for a year until they have lambs. I'm gonna put in 1/2 cup of milk, and this, you can use your milk of choice. This is from our sheep, but before that I would have used coconut milk or almond milk or something like that. And then we're gonna put in 1/3 cup of honey. It doesn't need to be raw honey because we're going to be baking this, so save your more expensive raw honey for other things that you're going to be needing it for. I only have a tiny little bit of vanilla left in here, so I'm just going to put the rest of it in and put it on the grocery list. Do a little bit of salt, and then this recipe has actual portions for the seasonings. I have a pumpkin pie seasoning that I just keep mixed up in the cupboard, so I'm just going to put that in. Where did I put my teaspoon? So we're going to do 2 teaspoons of this pumpkin pie mix. All right, let's get this stirred up. So fun fact, you actually cannot can pumpkin for long-term storage in your pantry. It doesn't last. There's no safe way to do it. So when you can pumpkin, you still have to put it in the fridge. So when I processed my pumpkins last year, I just opted to put them in the freezer because it didn't make sense to can them and then have to put them in the fridge anyways. But I will link my video down below for how I processed pumpkins from the garden so that you can see how to go from an actual pumpkin in your garden to pumpkin pies. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. Just one more for posterity. Alright, now we're going to pour our pumpkin mix into our shells and cook it, and then we just have to clean up. Yeah, we are definitely good with just one batch of pie mix. Oh man, it smells so good. Alright, now into the oven it goes. Alright, now that is going to be in our oven for 40 to 45 minutes. Don't forget to set your timer because I do that all the time where I forget to set my timer. But we are going to come back and check on this in a little bit. But while this is cooking, I'm going to go run outside and do some more morning chores. I'll see you back here in just a little bit. Alright, our timer went off. We're going to check and see if these are ready. Oh man, it smells so good. Yep, the knife came out clean. That means they're good. We're gonna take these out and put them on a cooling rack. In the winter, I like to keep my oven cracked after I bake something so all of that nice warm air can come out and heat the house up a little bit. But look at these pies. Are they not gorgeous? Oh my goodness, I wish you could smell this. They smell so good. Now I maybe could have mixed it a little bit better, but I wasn't too worried about it. It looks so good. We love it. It's delicious. Now we're just gonna let these cool and then you'll store them in the fridge, and then you can add some dairy-free whipped cream if you'd like, or something else to top it, or just eat it like this and it's delicious too. Now that your pie is cooled down and complete, you can dig into it now, or you can store it in the fridge. When I put mine in the fridge, I like to cover it with aluminum foil to keep it nice. Or if you have one of those containers that has a really nice lid that fits onto your pans, those are even better. You can freeze these for later if you want. Make one for now, make one for Thanksgiving. I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know if you try it and you like it, and I will see you next time after we dig into some pie. Bye!